is going to be the next governor for Nairobi after Mike Mbuvi Sonko was impeached? Who is going to be the next governor? That's the question which most Kenyans are currently asking. But we will get the answer to that question in February. But one thing we know for sure is that the Nairobi gubernatorial race is going to be an interesting race, politically speaking, in this country. And it's going to define the politics of 2022 in this country. And I've observed two things already. Number one, the ODM party, which is perceived to be the dominant party in Nairobi, is not sponsoring a candidate in Nairobi. I'm talking of dominant party based on the presidential results in the last two elections, or even three. In 2007, ODM party emerged victorious in Nairobi. In 2013, they emerged victorious in Nairobi. And in 2017, they also emerged victorious in Nairobi. But being the dominant party in Nairobi, ODM party in its own wisdom has decided not to sponsor a candidate for the seat. Raila Odinga, in his own wisdom, is focusing on 2022 general election. And his calculation is that President Uhuru Kenyatta and Jubilee Party are likely to endorse his bid. And therefore, the contest for Nairobi is going to leave to them because they are the ones who was holding. Sonko was elected on a Jubilee ticket in Nairobi. But inside politics is simple. Raila Odinga is hoping that Jubilee Party are going to support him for the presidency. And therefore, Nairobi is going to sacrifice Nairobi for them. And that's why ODM party is not sponsoring a candidate. So that's the first thing I've observed. The second thing I'm observing is that Jubilee Party, the side or the faction of President Uhuru Kenyatta, Rafael Tojo, David Muradi, and the rest, are also using the Nairobi gubernatorial race to lay a trap for the Deputy President William Ruto. So Jubilee Party is going to sponsor a candidate in Nairobi. And what they want to see is whether William Ruto is going to support that candidate. Remember, in Kibra, Jubilee Party decided to support the ODM candidate, but they sponsored a candidate on Jubilee ticket. And because of that, William Ruto decided to go and campaign for McDonald Mariga. Then there was the by-election in Msambweni. In Msambweni again, Jubilee Party decided not to sponsor a candidate, but support the ODM candidate because the seat was previously being held by the ODM candidate, by an ODM member of parliament. So they decided in their own wisdom not to sponsor a candidate, but support the ODM candidate. William Ruto then decided to support a different candidate. And his own argument then was simple, that Jubilee did not sponsor a candidate in Msambweni, and therefore the membership of Jubilee Party were free to support any other person they wanted to support. So in Nairobi, Kenyans will be waiting to see whether William Ruto is going to support the Jubilee candidate for Nairobi. So those are the two things I have observed, and they're geared towards 2022 politics. So far, Jubilee Party submitted the names of two people to contest for the seat. There is Dennis Waweru. And I think I've done several videos on Dennis Waweru, and in my considered opinion, Dennis Waweru might actually be the next governor for Nairobi. He's a former member of parliament for Dagoretti South. He contested for Nairobi gubernatorial seat in the last election, akalemewa, then went back to Dagoretti South, and again there, William Ruto locked him out in favor of KJ. So he's going to make a comeback. Then there is this lady called Agnes Kagure. Agnes Kagure is one of the billionaires in the city. Initially, she wanted to be appointed as the deputy governor for Nairobi. That did not succeed. And if you've been following her for a long time, she's been trying to figure out how she could or she can enter into the Nairobi gubernatorial contest. So the two guys have been nominated. ODM had nominated two people also. They had nominated Sami Wakiaga. Sami Wakiaga is one of the billionaires from Luo Nyanza. He contested in Homa Bay in the last election as a governor, failed. But he applied in Nairobi. And then there's Beth Siang. Beth Siang is the current chairperson of the Nairobi Women League. I mean, not really Nairobi Women League, but the ODM Women League, the president. She's a Kamba. And the thinking within the ODM party, now that they're not going to sponsor a candidate, is that they're going to support the Jubilee candidate, who is likely to be Dennis Waweru or Agnes Kagure, just to be fair to her. And then, on the other side, ODM is going to provide the running mate. And initially, Edwin Sifuna was emerging as the front runner for the running mate. Because in Nairobi, politics is normally tribal. In the last 3 elections where ODM won, the mathematics has been very simple. Kikuyus versus the rest of the country. And now we are in a situation where we are going to have a Kikuyu gubernatorial candidate. 2 of them, or 3. Against who? Because ODM is going to support them. And if you are keen, there was the Peter Kenneth factor. Many people had hoped that Peter Kenneth was going to apply or to contest in Nairobi. He has refused because Peter Kenneth is also focusing on the 2022 presidential elections. He wants to be a running mate to Raila Odinga or to be a presidential candidate. So he's been ruled out. Then apart from those 3 guys, those are 4 guys, Dennis Waweru, Agnes Kagure, Sami Wakiaga, and Beth Siang. 2 people are also being mentioned. There is the name of Bishop Margaret Wanjiru, who has declared it herself that she's going for nothing other than the Nairobi gubernatorial seat. Then there is William Kabogo. So far, I'm not sure whether he has submitted his application. Then there is Philip Kesia, who was planning to run under Moses Kuria's party. And there was the name of Miguna, who was planning to run under the name of Third Way Alliance. But the Nairobi contest is going to provide William Ruto with an opportunity to outwit President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. That's what I want us to look at today, how William Ruto can use Nairobi to actually outsmart President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. Again, if you're watching this video for the first time, please take a second or 2, click subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Now let us get back to politics. The Nairobi gubernatorial race is going to determine 2022 presidential elections in this country. William Ruto must participate in Nairobi gubernatorial race. Either support the Jubilee candidate or sponsor his own candidate. And if he's going to sponsor his own candidate, there are implications. The implication is that an impeachment against him can be engineered. Because legally, you are not supposed to belong to 2 parties. He was the running mate to President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the principal assistant, who is now automatically the principal assistant to the president. Now, from all indications now, let's take President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, or let's assume we are going to have a handshake candidate. This handshake candidate is going to be Dennis Waweru or Anne Kagure. 2 of them are Kikuyus. So Jubilee is going to sponsor one of them. Then Raila Odinga and his brigades are going to come on board and support this candidate. And I'm favoring Dennis Waweru. Once they decide to support this candidate, it will mean that ODM party is going to sponsor or to provide a running mate. So who is going to be this running mate? There was the name of Edwin Sifuna, lawyer, because tribally, Kikuyus are the majority in Nairobi, followed by lawyers, I think Campus, then the Luos. That's the tribal arithmetics. Simple. And because of that tribal arithmetic, that's why Mike Sonko got more votes than Uhuru and Raila in Nairobi. Because he had the Kikuyus, then he had his clique of supporters, the poor guys, and the Kamba bloc also did not vote for Kidero. Then they went and voted for Mike Sonko. So we are going to have a situation where we are going to have Dennis Waweru being paired by Beth Sieng, who is a Kamba. That's the lineup which is being mentioned. So assuming that's going to happen, it will provide William Ruto with an opportunity. William Ruto will then decide to sponsor Margaret Wanjiru or William Kabogo. And in his own calculation, Margaret Wanjiru is going to be provided with a Luo running mate. So Lido Wallo is going to be Margaret Wanjiru's running mate. So another Kikuyu facing a Kikuyu. So the Kikuyus, because the assumption is that Kikuyus are with Ruto. So assuming they are going to split it half-half, then Luos are going to be told that you can't leave Nairobi just like that. Raila anachukua ikiti, anapeleka wa Kikuyu. Nyinyi mnapata nini? Because even the running mate, they are not going to get. So what's going to happen then is that Luos split half of them also. So you have a 50-50 there. Then it's going to go now to campus and tell campus that your man was the governor. Mimi ndio niliweka Sonko governor. Then kicked out. What do we do? Then campus are going to vote for that ticket. Then once that happens, then we are going to have the lawyers. If you've observed, William Ruto does not have high regards for the lawyers, because the lawyer leaders always go for chai na mandazi in Sugoi and every other day. That's why I was telling someone that when Ruto went for the funeral of Moronga and the Kibuchai guy, he could lecture the lawyer leaders there. When he went to Central Kenya, he never, you remember the day he read the president's speech there, he never played politics in that funeral. So for him, the lawyers will be easy dealing with. Atakuwa na waweka pale Weston ama other places, or Karen, wanakunywa chai, wanapewa token, wanaenda. So he believes by doing that, lawyers are going to vote for him again, for the candidate again. And by that, chances of his candidate winning are so high. So that's his first strategy, Eliud Owalo and Margaret Wanjiru ticket. The second strategy is going to be very simple for him. Bring William Kabogo on board. And then bring Dan Shikanda on board. So Ruto is going to have Dan Shikanda as a running mate to William Kabogo. If William Kabogo is going to play ball, then William Kabogo is going to take on Dennis Waweru, teke, to compete for the Kikuyus. If you put Dennis Waweru and William Kabogo on a contest, free and fair contest, chances of William Kabogo emerging victorious are high. So Kabogo might upset him in the Kikuyu votes, or watoke draw. Then he goes to lawyers and tell them that, look here, Nairobi, our lawyers are the second in numbers. You can't just play second without a candidate here. The other side, you don't have a candidate. So I'm giving you Dan Shikanda. Then lawyers will then decide to break ranks with Raila Odinga and support Kabogo, Shikanda ticket. Then you will go to campus and convince campus that they were the people who had the governorship. They've been kicked out. So they should not support the people who kicked them out. So campus will then come and put their eggs in his basket. Then he can now go with Mike Sonko and campaign for the Hustler Nation, the poor people there, and convince them that, look here, this is the guy who can support you. And with that, the chance of William Kabogo and Shikanda becoming the governor of Nairobi are so high. And if that will happen, then William Ruto is going to succeed, politically speaking. And probably the reason why IBC has not received the names of Bishop Margaret Wanjiru or even William Kabogo is the fact that these two gentlemen were still waiting for the new party, United Democratic Alliance Party, to be finalized. Once it's done, then they can submit the name. Alternatively, William Ruto is not submitting those names already because he doesn't want a contest between Uhuru Kenyatta and himself. But for now, his strategy is going to be very simple. William Kabogo, Dan Shikanda ticket, or Bishop Margaret Wanjiru, Ilidwalo ticket. Thank you guys. Let me hear your thoughts on this matter. Tunane siku ingine. Happy New Year. Let me just take this opportunity also to wish you, because tomorrow we are starting a new year. New year, new things. So I want to take this opportunity to also wish you a happy new year, a prosperous new year for yourself, for your family, and for your entire generation. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day.